Hey. Just getting it set up. I just spent way too long setting up this stream look. I know it's silly, but I like dumb shit like this. So if you're able to watch it on YouTube, so that I don't feel like I wasted my time. I tried to get LB in here, but he got off his sleep schedule, so he is. He's off schedule, so he needs to take some time to reset. So that is why you will not see him here. Just making sure all my settings are good. Anybody that's watching on YouTube that can tell me that I'm actually on would be helpful.
Yeah, you're on.
All right. What do you think about the setup, Hazy? I spent way too long, man.
Oh, it looks good.
Thanks, man. Awesome. That's what I like to hear. All right. So today we're going to be talking about the UST DPEG, of course, which I have it up, but I can actually pull it up on one of these. Hold on. So currently we're looking at 79 cents. So we'll start off with the UST DPEG. Then I have a lot to say about Raven Finance and then rebase tokens in general. And then my general thoughts on value and how it's perceived. Sorry, I don't have any heavy hitters today that's coming in. I don't think. I'll send a message to Golden real quick and see if he's up. But anyway, just as a reminder, this is just me kind of talking shit. Last time, people found it to be pretty cool, so I'm very happy about that. But it's really just me griping about DeFi, and also speaking about some things that I like. But it's nothing formal, and I'm just kind of talking shit. So I don't expect to get anything out of it. Let's see. Yes, I have. I have spoken to them, and we are getting it. So the UST DPEG, what happened, looks like on the 9th, but it's been going on for about, the rest of the time since then. I've seen a lot of conspiracies about it. One that said that Ken Griffin from Citadel had completely shorted BTC or borrowed it, dumped a bunch of it, made Luna have all of their backing taken out, which caused like the initial sell-off. But regardless, it's pretty wild to see an algo stable that people loved, like Luna and UST, to completely fall and fail to 60 cents. It's pretty wild. I originally, when I first saw it, I was like, well, this is going to repeg. This is like a Black Swan event almost. And, Do Kwon, he can handle it. He had plenty of reserves at BTC, and then they took out all of their BTC reserves, like 1.4 billion. It didn't help anything. It just kept going down. We looked like we got some relief. We got back up to about 93, 94 cents. We dwindled there for a little bit, and now we're back kicking at the lows. I did see Do Kwon tweet about 3 or 4 times saying that they're getting funds ready, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's pretty scary to see it. And honestly, that's why we went to switch to USDC. Obviously, some people were saying, oh, it's a lot easier to peg if UST goes under sometimes. Well, that's silly. We don't want to make Walrus. I want to be valued at $1, and that's the best thing to peg to is something that I know will be $1, which is USDC. UST going under doesn't help because if we're LP'd, nobody's going to feel safe holding a stable coin that's got however many billion in it, and it's dropping lower and lower. And then once these fail, once they don't have a bottom, then it gets even scarier. So I didn't really feel comfortable at that point. So I left it to a community vote, and now we're at USDC. So I'm a lot happier with that, I guess, because USDC is back completely with collateral. Every single USDC minted has some kind of backing to it. something sustainable, more substantial than what UST is. I do like UST because it is more decentralized, or it was planning to be. Obviously, if somebody has to intervene, then it's not as decentralized as you'd want it to be. But I think they had plans to turn it fully decentralized and automate it. So I really like UST and what it represents, because USDC will probably be the first currency that's regulated when the markets, when Yellen and the cronies get to regulating crypto heavier. We'll see USDC probably, you might have to get KYC to even trade it or some dumb shit. It sucks. And I wish it wasn't the case, because I really felt like UST had a lot of valuable marketing behind it that we could have used. I think the Treasury could have done well with UST. And this is also like something that me and Beyond had talked about. Like, we can go back to UST. Like, if they become more stable, they find a way out, we can easily peg it again, because we're going to do multiple pegs as our TVL grows. So, maybe we can come back to UST, and it's not like that essential to have UST at the first one. The first thing we need is stability. So that starts with our stable coin that we're pairing with, of course. So, that's really what I know about UST. I do know that it does have a something that you can change, and I talked about it in the chat a little bit, where you can exchange 1 UST for $1 of Luna, which I'm assuming is what's causing Luna to crash like it has been, because you're able to take, whenever it's under, you're able to take that UST and trade it for $1 of Luna. And then, of course, you can sell the Luna, and then your UST was backed with $1 of Luna. But there's some kind of mechanic to keep it from being maliciously deployed, where the slippage is really high, and over time it becomes lower and lower. And so that means that there's a lot of people that are doing it that are still losing out. And then, there's a lot of people that aren't wanting to wait, so they're just dumping. So it's a slower fight to peg than I think other people had realized when they heard that mechanic was in there. But I still think that UST will make it, and I think that, we'll be fine in the long run for UST. I hope. I'd really like to see UST widely adopted. I think it is one of those too big to fails. There's AVAX backing it. There's other VCs probably circling, looking for an opportunity to come in. I don't see it being, complete failed, because the overall market, as we've already seen, is shit. But if Luna fails, a full layer 1 fails, in this day and age of crypto, I think it's gonna have like a lot of it's gonna hit a lot of people, in my opinion, and it's gonna affect the entire market. So, I don't think anybody wants it to fail. There's a lot of people screaming Ponzi and this and that. And, if you're in crypto, you don't want Luna to fail, in my opinion. It's even tanking right now. We're at 75 cents. I still hold it. I still hold a big position of it, because I'm waiting for it to go back to $1. So let's hope it doesn't go too far down. So to the big topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a little while, that I've made some jokes about in other communities, is this Raven Finance debacle. It really started with, it really started with seeing a video come out that rubbed me the wrong way. It was, I'll show it. I'm not going to hold anything back here at this point. I just, there's some things that I just don't like. There's some things that I just don't like, and this is one of them. And I'll show you exactly what bothered me. What is? And I'll explain some things about how I feel about this person. Let's see. Did he delete the video? He did. He deleted the video. Okay. Well, that's good. This guy, Crypto Truth Bombs, is everything I hate about a YouTuber, to be quite honest. This is nothing against DAM or Dow King. They can have their own opinions and associate with who they want. But this guy does a couple things that I really don't appreciate. And one of those, he put out a video about LB, or applied LB to it. And what he said was that LB was the lead dev of Raven. Now, it sounds like he got the wrong information, and so maybe it wasn't malicious, right? But LB, at this point in ToonForks, is a very marketable person, and I felt like putting him there really was like a marketing ploy for Crypto Truth Bombs, who was obviously involved in Raven to some extent. He was KYCing them with his own KYC company. But I'll get to it here in a minute about the rest of the story behind Crypto Truth Bombs. But LB was not involved. He had pre-sale contracts that he had done for DiGiannano, and he just allowed them to use those. And so that's automatically a red flag that these people that are claiming all these new utilities needed a pre-sale contract. So there was obviously something already wrong with Raven Finance, in my opinion. They were doing cross-chain and they couldn't even do a pre-sale contract. Something was off. And then I knew LB wasn't affiliated. I already asked him before, I even went into all this story. But he put this video out, and then some of the mods and me and Grape were talking about it, and some people were asking, hey, is LB involved? Hey, is LB involved? And, we all said no. We all knew to our knowledge, LB was not involved. And so I reached out to this guy because I had previous contact with him about Frozen Walrus, and I said, hey, listen, I think maybe you should just amend your statements. I don't think LB had that much involvement with Raven. I think he just gave some pre-sale contracts. He said, no. Me, LB, Eric, and so got into a voice call, and we got it all settled out. I said, okay, man. And so it happened, and Raven was bought out by 100 Days, and I don't think that 100 Days was doing anything malicious by buying these people out. But there was already just so much shady stuff going on. It's hilarious that they got these pre-sale contracts, did all this advertising, and then, out of nowhere, they get bought out. This crazy utility, new utilities from Raven Finance was bought out by 100 Days. So obviously they were incapable of launch, and it's pretty clear that they took some of the pre-sale money. And so obviously all of the concerns I had were true. They probably were going to run off with the money. And this guy right here had done his first KYC with them. He did the Crypto Truth Seekers and KYC'd them. And so, it looks bad on him, and maybe his intentions were pure, but I think he might just be trying to go after the sun a little too fast, and he's getting burnt because Raven Finance was ran by shit people. They were clearly just trying to scam from the get-go. They got bought out and took plenty of money from people. I don't know how they sold that many. Good on them for marketing that. But even their utilities, and this is what I'm saying, their utility, one of them was 18% buy tax, right? And the big thing was that you're going to get reflections in USDC. Well, here's the thing: is that eventually buy volume spun out. I'm gonna mute you, bud, because it's kicking up. Buy volume is eventually going to dissipate within like maybe 2-3 weeks to almost normal levels. So sure, you'll get a couple good USDC reflections maybe on the first one or two, but eventually it's going to become nothing. The USDC whole aspect of those being reflections was just shit. You're not going to get that after 2 or 3 months. The volume would be almost non-existent unless they kept pushing and got the same volume from launch. You're barely going to get any USDC. It was a complete marketing ploy. I think CrossChain was a complete marketing ploy. I think they just wanted to deploy 3 contracts to get as much pre-sale as they could and dip out. And that's exactly what they did. But I don't really, I reached out to this guy, and he really just kind of spit it back in my face when I was just trying to get the right information out to the people. His name has truth in it. You would think that he would amend the statements and correct the video, but he didn't. And I've had some conversations on the side with, Dow King and told him about this. He hides his subscriber count. The last known subscriber count was 500. And that was like 3 days ago. And so he's charging a substantial amount for his videos. I know for a fact he is. He's claiming some pretty wild information about why he charges that for his videos. And then, his early days, he got barely any views, and now he's getting like 2.6 to 3K views, even more, 6K views. It all doesn't really add up. Even if you look at his Twitter account, he has like 300. So what this all amounts to is, this is why I hate marketing in crypto, because of people. And again, this guy could be a great guy, but people like him come in the space and charge astronomical numbers. And it's just wild to see. And again, me and this guy can hash it out, and we can talk about it. And, I'm going to give him my opinions, and he can tell me what he thinks. But I just don't appreciate that kind of stuff in the space. I feel like it's disingenuous to have that view count. I don't think it's necessary to do what he's doing. And I just try to look out for the people in the space, and I don't think he's doing the same thing, especially with him having truth in his name. That's a little wacky. So his first KYC, of course, was Raven Finance, and hilarious that they pretty much were confirmed to probably going to Rug. But to spun out what you just said, Dow King and me have spoken about it. He's warned this guy about doing this stuff. Dow King doesn't do this kind of thing. Dow King gets real views. He's a stand-up guy from everything that I've come in contact with. Just this kind of stuff right here, this is what this is me. I'm able to vent about the bullshit that I see throughout the day. And this is one of them that I'm not appreciative of. So Crypto Truth Bombs, if this ever gets to you, reach out to me. We'll talk, and I'll tell you how not to be like this. Maybe be a little bit more legit in the space, and take care of people that watch. Even if we go, let's go to his video here. Let's see what his first intro is.
What is up, guys? My name is Lou. This is Crypto Truth Bombs, the one and only spot in all of crypto to get a no-nonsense, no BS assessment. Before we begin...
Come on. What's up with that? It's just wild, Wild. There's a couple things in these comments that I could tell you are botted. So anyway, that's it. That's how I feel about it. Sorry if I offended anybody, but I just feel like being at this point, I have to say when I feel like things are wrong, and that's wrong. The Raven Finance bullshit sucks, and yeah, I don't think it was going to be successful, and they just dipped. I think it's confirmed that they had like 250 or 300K they ran off with, but let me make it clear that LB was not involved in that. Unlike what this guy had said and not correct it, he's just now deleted it, which is just as good for me. LB was not involved at all with any of the contracts other than the pre-sale contract that he just did a favor for. And it was through a marketing guy through Raven that knew somebody through the marketing guy over at DGen. So that's wild, that could have blown back on LB for doing something nice. And it pisses me off. It pisses me off that there's good people in the space that can get blowback for something they didn't do. Because people in crypto, they don't read into that stuff. They would have just seen it, wrote LB off as another scam dev, and then just ran with it and never invested in another one of his projects. We all know that that's how crypto works. So that's my rant about Raven. Yeah. Crypto Truth Bombs, until he speaks with me, is definitely on the lame list. For sure. Hopefully he gets better. Hopefully he turns on his subscriber count so that he can actually give accurate numbers. Because let me tell you, I'm serious. It was high. It was high for the view count and the metrics, because that's what you have to go off when you hire these people to do your videos. So, yeah. And then, this may also bother people with what I talk about next, which is going to be rebase tokens. I am not a fan. I do think they can work, but me personally, I'm just not a fan of rebase tokens. There's a couple reasons for it. I think that they're getting to the point where they can become more sustainable. But the copy and paste tune forks are the ones that I'm specifically speaking about. I don't think that they'll ever work. if you just like launch them and let them go. I think they rely too much on, just like nodes relied on one person or constant people buying, or the Ponzi-nomics. I'm worried that rebase tokens will fall to the same death, unless somebody comes out with something that's a little bit better. And now, of course, LC Liquid Capital, they have some really cool stuff coming out. There's some things that are changing my opinions. When I first heard about rebase tokens, I was like, this just sounds like one token. You're gonna get shit on because you have to have people buying it. But there's more people in the space that are working on them and making them more sustainable. So I think my opinions can change on them. But for me personally, I just haven't invested in any. But also to that, I haven't been investing in a lot of things because I just haven't had time. I think the only thing I've been invested in recently is Yeti and wine, and of course grape. But yeah, that's how I feel about rebase tokens. And then I think I think we'll have some more to talk about just so I can gripe at the end. But real value is the last topic, and what I mean by that is like value of even the financial system. I don't know if you guys know this, but back in the day, the feds kind of just handed out their money, just as a product. They said they would give this money to you if you give them this product, and that's what they kind of do. They shield their cryptocurrency pretty much, and they did it so much that it became an asset that we use here in America. And so evaluation on like tokens, people say that it's internet money, it's fake. No, it's really not. It's really what people value it at, and it's that ebb and flow that you see with demand and supply and all of that stuff that makes crypto so fun and engaging. But value doesn't necessarily mean like, this water bottle is $2. You can make value out of something if you just make it appear to be valuable, because that's all it is. That's all you can do is make value out of something. So Walrus can have value of $1, and that's what we look to do. Is I want real value on Walrus, so that anybody that's looking at Walrus outside of it can say, wow, Walrus is definitely worth $1, or definitely worth $1.20, or it's not worth $2. Those discussions are what I want around Walrus, regardless of the peg that we're pegging to. So that's how I feel about value, and I'm sure there's a lot more, but I think I've got brainworms today because I don't know. You can't hear anything? Is anybody else having the problem?
I can hear you on Discord, but I have YouTube muted, so.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. I'd like to ask anybody that's give me some hot topics that we can talk about. Let it go to the crowd for a little bit so I can talk shit about something else other than what I've wrote up. Beyond, give me a hot topic. Somebody.
You could talk about how Titanoforks compare to and how that also compares to Ohm forks in the past.
Yeah.
Like how are they different and why, actually better. No bias. A little bit.
Yeah, so definitely going to be some bias on this, but out of the three, I really do think Tomb Forks are the most sustainable. Ohm and rebase tokens or Titanoforks, they go with the model of one token, so you have to constantly have buy pressure to negate the sell pressure. And then Tomb Forks work on it on two fronts because you're just battling the inflation. And so I feel like that is substantially easier to mitigate because you can burn token supply through like auto compounding vaults and stuff like that. But Ohm, I think, was never going to work because it was like the original Ponzi-nomics. It really had every bit of Ponzi-nomics you could really involve yourself in. And then nodes came out shortly after. But all of them dealt with one token. I guess you could call Wrap Token a second token, but really, come on, it's one token. And these models, it's really difficult because you're having to constantly race against losing buy pressure. You're going to be losing buy pressure over time unless you're constantly putting out new utility. Tomb Forks can sustain because the utility is in the LP farms at the original base is just LP farms. So you're always incentivized to keep liquidity, to keep buying. And then you also have the share token that traders use. Obviously, we have some utility for it. But there's all these dynamics at play to really make Tomb Forks more engaging than just buying and holding a token. Because once you buy a rebase token, you usually get it in the pre-sale. And this is my main concern is like if you do pre-sale, right, you're buying these tokens. And then if you don't get in the pre-sale, you're taking the buy and sell tax. So you're going to get hit with that. So there's going to be people that are automatically going to be turned off because the sales tax is very difficult to mitigate. You have to understand slippage, turn your slippage up. So you're going to have a lot less buyers come in. And especially after you hit that like 2-3 week mark of longevity, you're really going to have reduced buyers. Unless you have something like Titano and Sphere, which they were the OGs, so you automatically get some buy pressure just from being there. But obviously, as we've seen, all of them are starting to dwindle down. So the difference in the Tomb Forks is there's so many different ways to play, so many different ways to play, to play each side of the peg. You have LP farms. If you just want to kind of sit back and chill, you can trade the share token. There's all these different utilities that are inside that's automatically a legacy feature of Tomb Forks. So, I really feel like Tomb Forks are, I have Dylan.
The difference in the Tomb Forks is there's so many different ways to play. So to play each side.
This motherfucker's drunk. Anyway, I think I am biased, but I've been in and out of Tomb Forks 15 hours a day for the last 3 months. I have not been in and out of rebase tokens for 3 months. So full disclosure there, I was heavily invested in Ohms and a bunch of other ones, and my bag got completely crippled. So I have a little distaste on those as well. But if I look at it in hindsight, you got to have buy pressure no matter what. And those tokens did not add that, right? They were new and fun for a couple months. And then as people felt like getting out of their investment, things fell apart very fast. So Ohm, the very original OG Ponzi-nomics. Is Ohm still alive? No way it's still alive, right?
I'm still kicking.
Are you in Ohm, Dave?
No.
Oh.
I don't do ETH.
Yeah, I don't do ETH either. I think Time is even still alive, right?
Time is definitely still going.
Because WMemo is, yeah, what the fuck? This is like one of the highest traded coins too, in volume and everything. Which cool, This feature I really think kicked them next level. Plus they also have like a whole ecosystem behind them. So I guess Time was a little bit different with how he built it out. Now obviously they had all kinds of drama with Sifu, who I also just recently watched a video where a guy said that Sifu was one of the people that targeted UST. Now listen, Sifu does have a lot of money, but there was billions pouring out of the ecosystem for UST and Luna. So, I actually see Sifu sometimes in Yeti chat, and I talk in Yeti chat all the time because he has a big position there. I think he has a 5 mil position that he leveraged 10x. And I said, hey, man, they're blaming you for crashing UST. What do you have to say for yourself? And he said, dude, I get blamed for everything, which rightfully so. I mean, some of the shit he did was really shitty, but it's just funny that people think that this was I do think it was orchestrated, but I don't think it was Sifu. They said it was something to do with because of Abracadabra. They wanted UST to fail. It's ridiculous, like stable coin wars or some shit. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, you can't have too much stability. It's too,
Yeah, truly. I like that. I really wish that we actually would have looked at DAI. I wish people would have considered DAI more. I really like DAI. I think it's OG, and I think it came out in a bear market, so that's why it survived so well. But I still really like DAI. I really like Frax, but I don't know if you guys saw it in the chat. The reason I didn't choose Frax this time, because I probably would have, or at least put it up to a vote, was because AVAX Frax, me and Beyond looked at it. It only has I think 300K in liquidity. So they're obviously not worried about AVAX. So we're not able to do it there, sadly. But I think Frax is really cool. I think we had some AVAX Frax forks recently. Yeah. So what else you guys got? I'm gonna look up Do Kwon on Twitter, see if he said anything.
It feels like he's stalling at this point.
Yeah, look, see, he said 10 hours ago, close to announcing a recovery plan for UST. Hang tight. Didn't mean to be so quiet. Needed razor focus to deliver. Thanks everyone for their support. Getting close. Stay strong, lunatics. So everybody's claiming that, he's going to get hit with the feds for, Ponzi schemes and blah, blah, blah. It really feels like, maybe he's done wrong in the past, but Jesus, man, like, the man's trying to make a decentralized stablecoin so people can actually have value outside of collateralized stablecoins that we see like USDC. And if you're really in DeFi, then this is a real, opportunity. So I don't know. It's really crazy to watch how hard people get hit as leaders in DeFi. I guess I'm biased on that as well because I've seen it. I had recently seen something. We were talking about 100 days and their delayed launch, right? And somebody had said, and I'm not going to name any names, but somebody had said, we're going to take legal action on them because they're doxxed and their LLC, they got an LLC in Washington or whatever, which is crazy to me, right? I dox myself for different reasons. Like I don't have a huge business background, so it's not like it's not beneficial for me to dox to anybody because I don't have like anything valuable that I can prove to you all by doxing. I just do it to be open with you guys and have that transparency, which is what I've built, which I'm so happy. I'm blessed to be here and be able to do this. But somebody had said, yeah, after the third delay on 100 days, I'm thinking about taking, I'm sure there's some lawyers that would take up because whenever I did a pre-sale, I was in a contract with them. That was kind of like an, unsaid contract, right? That they were going to deliver on time, which is insane. To even think that these guys would get into a legal battle, which it's not going to happen, by the way, but that people even thought or considered that it should be something a lawyer should handle because a DeFi project on AVAX didn't launch on time. Is it stupid? Yes. Is it funny? Yes. Can you sue them? I don't know why you would. They didn't scam you. And it just makes me fearful for being this exposed sometimes, I guess, since I'm not doing an Ask Me Anything. I guess I can talk more freely about this. It does worry me, if Walrus gets bigger and like I make a misstep or I make a miscalculation. And even if my intentions were pure, once you get so many people, people that follow me or defend me will be cultists. People that hate me or don't like my projects will be the ones attacking me. And so then the community split. It's really disgusting human nature at play. And so that kind of worries me some days that I am this exposed with the family and stuff. I don't worry about my like safety, but I don't want to be attacked legally for just trying to make a DeFi project and a good community. So I really hope that doesn't happen. I'm never going to do anything, with intent to harm any of my investors. I know that, that's why people are KYCing with me. But it is pretty wild that's what we get to sometimes. And this is people's money, so I get it. I get that people get upset when people are losing money. But I just wish people would think more logically. Is it the leader's fault? Did he produce something that maliciously took your money? Did he run away with your money? Or did he make an experimental product that did not work? Maybe I'm preaching to the choir. Maybe everybody that's listening understands that. But I hope that we as a community understand that for leaders or developers, that everybody's kind of just on a we're all just experimenting. There's a lot of money to be made. Some things sound better than other things. Some things work better than other things. But we're really laying the foundation of what DeFi will be in 5 to 10 years, which I assume will be heavily regulated and much different than the space we're in now. But we're the first fucking people to ever do this shit. We're taking the risk. We're buying the shit that your parents, your grandparents say, "What the fuck are you buying? How can you ever get that back to U.S. dollars?" You know, we're really doing the first few shit that's ever happened in DeFi, and so it's really booming and it's becoming more and more adopted. So it of course will. There will be more people coming in, good actors, bad actors, and the space will change. The space changes on a dime. So I'm really excited to see just where it goes. And hopefully, Walrus can keep up and pivot and make the correct adjustments to be sustainable for a long time, which I think it will be. Me and Dave, do you have some?
Yeah, well, I mean, after you're done.
No, go ahead. I'm just talking.
Oh, all right. I read an interesting article about the SEC and what they're looking to do.
Do you have it?
Like,
So I can pull it up?
no, I can dig it up. I saw a scary TikTok that led me to it. I was like,
A scary TikTok?
yeah, they're like, oh, they're coming for you. They're coming for your NFTs. They're coming.
Yeah. Starbucks made an NFT. I know my fiance would be hype about that. I think it gives you free coffee or some shit.
So, yeah, I'm gonna DM it to you. It's a read. Like,
We'll just skim over it. I'll just skim over it.
but it was interesting to see, what they're looking to solve, and they're mostly just looking to get rid of like insider trading type stuff, so that VIPs don't have information that regular investors have, which I mean is kind of
That's true, right? We
like.
should, I err on the side of caution because I'm in a position now that I can learn things that other people probably shouldn't. Like other people would love to know or like use it to invest with, right? I know when a pump's coming, just because I work so closely with a lot of devs and I know what makes the communities tick and when people are going to start swing trading. So I could easily get like early opportunities. I can confidently and happily say that I've never done it. Because I really feel like that's part of the package of being doxxed and claiming to be full of integrity is that you can't make those moves. But it definitely should be limited. Leaders in the space should not be doing that kind of stuff. You should not be giving your best friends information like, hey, buy into this because something's going up, right?
Yep.
It's pretty shady, and it happens in Discord. So, if you're involved in that kind of stuff.
Transparency is just key there to that. And then the other thing they're just going after is like people who would take investors' money and use it for their own benefit to like buy condos or cars and stuff.
Yeah, the old meme where the devs ran off and bought their Lambo where they're sitting on a beach sipping Coronas. Yeah, I agree. There has to be something in place to keep these people, the bad actors, away from doing the bad things, right? Let's read this scary article. Statement on DeFi risk, regulations, and opportunities. Let's try and skim over some of it. Jesus Christ, this is bright. SEC needs a dark mode, dog. Let's see. Whether in the news, social media, popular entertainment, and increasingly in people's portfolios, crypto is now part of the vernacular. But what the term actually encompasses is broad and amorphous and includes everything from tokens to non-fungible tokens to DEXs to decentralized finance or DeFi. For those readers not already familiar with DeFi, unsurprisingly, definitions also vary. In general, though, it is an effort to replicate functions of our traditional finance systems through the use of blockchain-based smart contracts that are composable, interoperable, and open source. So yeah, many investments share important attributes. Unregulated markets suffer from structural limitations. While DeFi has produced impressive alternative methods of composing, recording, and processing transactions, it has not rewritten all of economics, or human nature. Certain truths apply with as much force in DeFi as they do in traditional finance. Yeah, so I would love to see like a decentralized SEC. Maybe they can get involved, but not have the same. I mean, let's be honest. The SEC's a wet napkin on current financial systems. So if they want to go into DeFi, it's not really going to scare me too much because
No, I mean it's really the IRS. Like they're the ones.
yeah, the
you know,
IRS is what scares me.
Like when it was the booze, in the 20s and stuff, it was the TTB, the tax people.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah, I think taxes scare me more. SEC takes like 15 years to do jack diddly dick, and they still don't do a lot. You can see that current financial system is getting crippled by market makers and everything that's going on with our economy. Everything's so ingrained and fucked up from human nature in general. I don't think that the SEC will be the ones that stop crypto. But yeah, IRS I've heard has a lot of trouble even now because new tax laws come out like every year, and it completely fucks old tax laws, and so the IRS is completely backed up and fucked. So I think that everybody should want to pay their fair share of taxes if you believe in what taxes are supposed to do. I don't mind paying taxes. I just wish I knew how to fucking pay them correctly. Because it's very difficult when you're doing this full time. There's so many different ways to do it. They have like some guidelines about like taxes and stuff, but it doesn't necessarily make it like easier or less nerve-wracking whenever I have like 2,500 transactions on my crypto wallet, and I know that there's some stuff in there that I know there's some tools that like help calculate it, but it's really hard to get a cost basis when I switch from like, let's say I went from Memo to P share back to B share and just kept riding the train. You have to get a cost basis for that stuff, and it's really difficult. So who knows what's going to happen with that, but fuck the SEC.
Yeah, I did try one of those apps, and they said I have like 3,500 transactions this year, and it's like there was like 1,800 that needed to be like addressed or whatever. And I was like, well, what if I just do 0 for everything? And it said I made $142 million. I told the person in the support chat, I was like, I did not make $142 million. I didn't even get anywhere close to that. And so
Yeah. I mean,
you gotta take some zeros off.
Because then you also have to get like all the rug pulls that you were a part of, the NFTs that are shit, that you lost income on. Of course, everybody there's a lot of people that do that buy NFTs and then sell them for tax write-offs and like all this crazy shit that people are getting away with. Dude, I'm just a dude that wants to live on crypto and fairly and pay my taxes like a normal person. Just fucking make it easy. Why are you making it so hard? Is what I think. I do want to look at one thing, OpenSea, real quick. I really want to look at these Azukis. I heard that this guy was a part of like 3 rug pulls, making all the all the stuff for this. But I really love this art. I think this shit's dope. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I think that like if we pick an NFT to like invest in, I think these are really low right now. And I think it would be really cool to get this into a treasury. I do want to make NFT investments, but I suck with NFTs, so it will not be my decision, I'll tell you that. But I really think these are cool as shit. I think a lot of people like them. Their floor price is what right now? Floor price is 10 ETH, which is still insane, right? It's like $20,000. But I really like them. I really love NFTs. But I think the main ones we're going to be... Oh, I don't know if you know this, guys, but somebody reached out to me. I think it was Havoc, actually. Havoc had reached out to me. There's NFTs on Trader Joe now. I don't know if you guys know this, but they actually do trading on Trader Joe now, and they have certified stuff. Look, there's a double certification for party animals. So the blue chips that we'll be voting on for your staked shares that we're giving away is stuff like party animals. We might do some elites. Don't even know what monkeys is. I'd love to do Fearots, Tiny Bones, and my goal is to get like cross promotion. I've heard Wind Blast is like is a pretty good one coming up. It's a play to earn. They look, honestly, I don't like the art too much, but I know that there's a game behind it. So, getting some of these like the mid tier ones would be really cool. Dave, what do you think about this?
Love it.
What's your
Okay.
what's your NFT of choice? What's your favorite NFT?
Mine, of course.
True. I know you have a.
Crypto Coop cards on Tezos.
That's crazy that you built one on Tezos.
It was a mistake. I mean, not a lot of volume on Tezos.
Yeah.
And literally the day before I was gonna launch the first batch of them, the website owner for that like NFT marketplace, like Hickett Nunk or whatever, got into like some Twitter war with someone,
Yeah.
and they pulled the plug on their website. They got in a Twitter argument, and then just said, "Nope, I'm out," and they shut the website down.
Oh wow.
And so like the mods and everyone else and other people who are working on the website had to like save it. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm launching tomorrow. Like, I have to launch on a totally different website.
I think
It's a tough space.
it is. It's really speculative. I know all assets are pretty speculative, but NFTs especially. I'd love to get a rooster, or I mean, I'm sorry, a chicken. I think they're doing another one for rooster. But I really think it would be cool to get a chicken one because I'm pretty sure I have a connection to get into to get in contact with some of the guys over there and maybe do some cross promotions because that's the goal, is to get those communities over here saying, hey, look, if you stake, you have a chance of winning. Let's see if let's go to the market. What's their floor price? 33 or 27. I actually watched chicken. I feel so bad when I first got into NFTs on AVAX. I saw these at like 3 or 4 AVAX, and I kept telling my fiance, I said, hey, these chickens are cool. I think they're going to go up. And they just kept going up every day. And now, of course, they have this awesome community and stuff. So if we can get you like, if we can offer up like an elite one for 38 AVAX and give it out once a month or something, or even like try and get a legendary for everybody, depending on how our treasury grows, that'd be cool as shit. You all would be able to get a very large NFT for doing nothing other than what you're supposed to be doing. So that was one of the plays that I wanted to do with there. What is their uniques? Elon Musk. Honestly, some of these NFTs, I don't know how they got so popular, but they did nonetheless. Yeah. Anybody else got some hot topics that we can talk about? Some shit that's going on in DeFi? I think I've talked enough shit. I'm probably going to have to answer for it probably in the DMs eventually.
The Magic Burner Vault.
Yeah. So what's their website? It's Magic. This is on my PC. What's the website? Do you know it, Saint?
Finance.
Yeah.
I think they have it's funny because they have like a RuneScape thing, I think, in their, is it their cauldron? But the important thing is that I talk to Owen all the time. We are going to get a vault like instantly. He's just waiting on me to launch. So we're going to get this like instantly. So our supply will be low at the start, and we're automatically going to have a vault that's burning our peg token until we get our own vault. So it's going to be pretty cool. I know it's been working well for Grape. I know Grape's got a lot of other things in the works, but I'm excited to get on with Magic. I think their TVL is going to grow pretty fast. I think it's at 500K. It's not loading right now, but I think it is about 500K. It's going to be cool to see that. Saint, what do you think about it? Oh, look, their TVL is only 258K. Saint, are you a fan of Magic or you invested?
Yeah, it's working. I got in recently.
Yeah, they just recently went up in price, didn't they? As soon as the Dow King video came out, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Let's see. They're pegged to Phantom.
Yeah.
Are they over?
They've
Been up
flirting
and down.
with it.
I think you can do this right here whenever you're trying to see invert pair, and it'll show you. No, never mind. Phantom is $1 or is 53 cents. So they're right on their peg, but I think they're building liquidity because I think they've been around for a while. But yeah, I'm super excited for Magic. I actually wanted to get on their Ask Me Anything, and I think I might be soon. They actually have big Ask Me Anythings that go on, that I want to try and get to as well. I think they just recently did a partnership with Ames. Yeah, I think Magic's
EMP
doing really
money.
good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, EMP money. EMP's fucking huge, man. I just saw how much TVL they had. They're huge. So that's cool. I do know that there is one feature that I was talking to LB about that I kind of copied and pasted from Luna when I heard about it. Is that whole mint feature? Is maybe have like a certain allocated amount of shares that we have in the DAO that we mint at the beginning, and anytime that we go under peg, we have a certain allotted amount that you can mint. So say like Walrus is at 60 cents. You can actually still mint it for $1 worth of share. Now, obviously, this is going to hit the share token, but it's instant profit for people, and then it burns those tokens. So I think it's cool, but it could obviously be manipulated heavily on low. If we ever got low liquidity and whales came to play, they could just manipulate the shit out of that and profit so much off of that. So I think that you would have to be, a pretty huge TVL for that to work. What else we got, boys? What's happening in the DeFi scene? I guess I should be more prepared for the next one. I'll try and get more drama, because that's really what it's about, is all of the drama that we get in the scene. Looks like UST is coming back up 82 cents. I think I bought in at 85 cents. So I could have made profit here, but I really thought it was going to go to $1. So I'm a little upset with that.
When dollar.
Yeah. Just as a quick update for Walrus, which I know this isn't really talking about, but it should not be any kind of delay. USDC is 6 decimals, just like UST, and that was the main issue with launching UST. And so the developer just has to move the token contracts over, so it's not a big deal. I don't think it'll take any extra time. Dave actually just sent me all of the stuff for the new USDC logos, so it shouldn't be a big deal. And I think all the features are working as intended. We're about to start testing the taxes over the next couple of days and making sure they work, and then get the documentation updated for like partial and stakes, similar scenarios like that. And I think the last thing is making sure that the boardroom expansion, setting it up for Bootstrap for over 20 epochs, printing no matter what, plus rebates, plus the Genesis pools isn't going to be too much sell pressure or too much inflation, which of course we can turn off instantly. Our main thing would be if the inflation's hitting too hard or we don't have enough TVL growing for buy pressure on Walrus, we'll just turn the Bootstrap off and let it go like it's intended. We got 54 minutes. I like to go for an hour. So we're going to sit here dead air if we have to. Beyond, give me another hot topic, man. You got to feed me.
Maybe broader markets. So ETH and BTC, like even though they're doing well, like why are the L1s not seeming to catch up to ETH and BTC for now?
Yeah, I heard that's a good topic, actually. Thank you. So, all these L1s, which are like gas tokens, pretty much is their main utility, is they're used for gas on the network, like AVAX. You see BNB doing well or better than I think AVAX did. And I think the main reason for that is because BNB was so solidified and they have an entire exchange behind them. AVAX doesn't have all of the utility. That's just a gas token with better finality, which, with less validators, means that it's already kind of lagging behind under high stress moments. So I think that all of the prices were pretty inflated, especially like even broader markets in the stock market were inflated, and they're coming down to normal levels again. But Bitcoin and everybody was expecting Bitcoin to come down to 28 to 30K. I think. I don't think anybody expected that Avalanche would just fucking crash, right? Damn, man. It was over $100 again on the 2nd of April. But yeah, it's been in a pretty much like I think all of these coins have really been in a downtrend. We've had some awful couple of months in crypto. It seems like there was no real new people coming in. Everybody was kind of selling off their L1s. Now I think Luna was actually doing better than most, so I think you could probably assume that it was pretty overinflated. But yeah, I think Bitcoin, and my hope is that we real DeFi stops correlating with Bitcoin. The reason I don't think it will anytime soon is because Bitcoin and Ethereum do so many pairs on exchanges, so there's so many arbitrage opportunities, and when Bitcoin tanks, the pair tanks. So I think that's really where the majority of correlation comes from, and I don't see that ending anytime soon, sadly. I think that we're going to continue to trend downwards, and I think L1s will continue to trend harder down than Bitcoin because I think Bitcoin has so much institutional ownership now that it kind of holds itself up, right? So I think it's in a different circumstance, and Ethereum is right there with it. But honestly, I think Ethereum is a pretty shit chain. I even think Phantom's a pretty shit chain. I don't think that Phantom will survive. I think AVAX will because of subnets and stuff, and I'm an AVAX person, but I don't think some of these L1s are gonna last. And if Luna crashes, that's it. We're going to a black swan event, in my opinion, which I think a lot of people know. So if Luna were to keep crashing, what is Luna right now? $16. Holy fuck. It is fucking tanking. And again, this is probably something to do with people getting UST, arbing it to Luna, and then dumping their Luna. But I mean, we were at literally 2 months ago, we were at 115, and now we're down to 16. Jeez. How much is this?
The all-time chart looks like a rug.
Of
I know
Luna?
it's not.
Of,
Yeah.
Of Luna?
Like if you zoom out on it, it looks like they just pulled all the liquidity out.
I mean, really, it kind of is. Like, I think almost 50% of their liquidity has been pulled from Anchor and everything else. Let's see. Jesus. 400% from the beginning of May. That is fucking nasty, man. Luna got hit so hard. That's crazy. AVAX. What do we go down on here? If we're going for May again, which we had a little bump, we'll start at 68. Yeah.
Out of curiosity, what are the feds after Dope One or this being mentioned?
Dog, your mic sounds like shit, Dylan.
Thank you.
Type it in chat. I barely heard you. I heard Doquan and Feds. Oh, I fucked that up. It's down 80%, 35% for AVAX, and then Bitcoin. I think we can look at these charts. Why are the Feds even talking about Luna at all? I don't think they're talking about it. I think people are expecting it. Just because people lost money, and every time people in crypto lose money, they wonder why they're not arrested yet. The people that are responsible. So Doquan's just a doxed individual that is going to get fucked. I don't think he's going to get hit by the Feds. Everybody's saying it's a Ponzi scheme. But I think it's a little bit different, but who knows? So we had another bump here. If we go down to where we are currently, 21%, 80% for Luna, and then 35%. So obviously Bitcoin's holding up way better than the rest of them. And I think we're probably going to see that. I mean, Bitcoin's obviously got strength of it's just known. Bitcoin's like the gold. It's like the S&P, and then all the crypto altcoins are kind of like the inside of it. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, the markets are crazy right now. I've been nervous about launch, obviously, with these conditions, but like I was telling Beyond, we can really shine if we get some green on the chart. And then we have stability. Like, I mean, you can even see Grape. It's holding up way better than any other coin I've seen in the fucking market. Grape and wine are fucking slaying right now. And that's where I really think Tomb Forks hold up well. You know, you're still able to take profit, and everybody, if you have a strong community, they have over 5,000 members. You know, you can really find success in the space. And if you can do it in a bear market and you catch it on the upswing, I think you're really going to benefit, right? I think your project's really going to benefit, and your TVL is going to grow exactly how I want it to, which is over time and bigger each week. Dave, what do you got?
I got nothing.
Okay. Well, hopefully more drama goes down this week, and I can do another Lamer Flame with a little more enthusiasm. I think I was a little tired today, but usually I can talk a lot more. But I think the main one I really wanted to talk about was Raven Finance, and then just how, you know, disgusting the behavior behind Crypto Truth Bombs was. But it's good that I got that out. Now you guys can spread that around, and I can deal with that shit later. But hopefully he gets better, because I really think that anybody that's following him is going to get wrecked. If you invest in a project that's KYC with his Truth Seeker KYC, you're going to get fucking wrecked. In my opinion, of course.
Should we send the feds after him?
Yeah, I'm thinking Do Kwon and him are actually they're in a conspiracy together. I was saying that I'm going to start a KYC company, clearly, because that's the way to go, and sell it. And then what I do is I get your name and your family members' names, and I find a local gang in the area, and I give that information to them. And you have two options, two tiers. The first tier, of course, would be the most expensive. It would be about $10K, of course. For a good KYC, that's what you pay. And so with that $10K, what you're going to do is you're going to get dealt with by the mafia or the gang in your local area. And then you can get the lower tier one, which isn't as much risk involved for you. You get rug tattooed on your forehead. So we're going to look to do that KYC pretty soon once we get some funds from Walrus. I'll be heading it. Damn, I had another thought. Oh, what's that movie called, Dylan? I kind of forgot what that movie was called. Inglourious Bastards. It's a good movie. That's a good fucking movie. Oh, I streamed the fights. This is kind of some housekeeping and just talking at the very end here. I streamed some fights last time. I really do want to do some like sporting events, live streams, and gambling on them. The UFC fights, I'm a big UFC fan, but I also want to do like some movie nights. You know, I have streaming rights to a lot of movies, you know, and so I want to be able to do like community events like that, maybe where people don't have a lot of access to this stuff. I'm able to provide it. You know, maybe nobody will use it, but still, it's something that I want to do. I really like community engagement, and we got to pick ours up by whatever means we can. I did start an OG chat. There's a giveaway currently going on if you have the OG title for $100 worth of Walrus. But, you know, launch this weekend. We have another Ask Me Anything on Friday. And I want to get an actual guest next week. I am going to try and get LB as my first official guest, and I had Fife. He'll probably come back on. I'd like to get Dow King, and then I'd also like to get some people that are outside of our space, and have some conversations with them. You know, I could talk to a brick wall and keep talking, but I know that everybody wants to kind of see some extra people involved here, instead of just listening to me gripe about some of the stuff that's happening in DeFi. But that's really all I got. I appreciate you guys listening to me rant. I know that I have fun doing it. So if you're listening, thank you guys. And, you know, we'll do another one like always on next Tuesday. They'll get a little more structure to them as we go, just like my Ask Me Anythings have. And we'll just keep building. And eventually when we have a bigger community, these things will be a lot more active, a lot more questions. But we're really building the foundation right now. And people, you know, you build it and they'll come, right? That's what they say. So I'll end it here. And And thank you guys for listening. Does anybody else have any ending comments they want to say? If not, that's okay. Just want to make sure I hear everybody. All right. We'll do it there. Thank you guys. I'll see you next week, and I'll see you this Friday.